Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It's unacceptable. Darragh Ennis' heartfelt update drops just a few minutes ago. Broken our hearts, this news must see. Elsie Thorne had always considered herself a connoisseur of trivia. Her evenings, after a long day teaching primary school children the intricacies of the alphabet and the wonders of the natural world, were spent hunched over pub quiz tables or shouting answers at the television. Her particular obsession was ITV's The Chase. She knew the chaser's telltale bluffs, Bradley Walsh's exasperated sighs, and the precise moment when a contestant's dream morphed into a chaser's triumphant smirk. For years, she had filled out the online application, each time convinced she had the unique blend of general knowledge and engaging personality they sought. Most times, she heard nothing back. A few times, a polite rejection. Then, 6 months ago, the email landed, a callback, and another. And then, the shimmering, almost unbelievable confirmation Elsie Thorne from Nottingham was going to be on The Chase. The news vibrated through her quiet life like a tuning fork. Her pupils made her a hand-drawn good luck banner. Her colleagues organized a viewing party. And her perpetually worried mother, usually convinced Elsie was perpetually on the verge of some minor disaster, actually clapped. Elsie wasn't playing for fame. She was playing for something more fundamental. Her family's small, beloved local library, where she had spent countless childhood hours, was facing severe budget cuts. A decent sum from The Chase could save its threatened after-school programs, its vital community outreach. This wasn't just a game, it was a mission. As the filming date approached, a nervous excitement bubbled within her. She reread encyclopedias, devoured news articles, and practiced rapid-fire general knowledge questions with her long-suffering cat Mittens, who offered only judgmental blinks in return. She knew her capitals, her historical figures, her scientific breakthroughs. She was ready, or so she thought. The studio was smaller than it appeared on screen, but the bright lights felt intensely magnified, almost predatory. Bradley Walsh, disarmingly charming and even funnier in person, shook her hand with a warm, reassuring grip. The chaser, the vixen, Jenny Ryan, sat poised and formidable at her desk, a wry smile playing on her lips, her eyes, despite the kind greeting, sharp with intellectual hunger. The energy was electric, a controlled tension that crackled in the air. Elsie, usually composed, felt a flutter in her stomach that had nothing to do with nerves and everything to do with the sheer surrealism of it all. This was it, her moment. Her cash builder round began. Bradley fired questions with his usual rapid-fire precision. Elsie surprised herself. A confident answer for the capital of Norway. A quick recall of the author of Pride and Prejudice, the chemical symbol for gold. Each correct answer felt like a small victory, a tiny tremor of confidence building in her chest. £6,000. Not a fortune, but a respectable start. She took a deep breath. She could do this. She would do this for the library. She chose to play for the £6,000, avoiding the tempting higher offer and the safer but less impactful lower offer. She was here to make a difference. The vixen's offer was intimidating. £36,000 to move one step.
A small, collective gasp seemed to ripple through the unseen studio audience, followed by a low murmur. Elsie felt a hot flush creep up her neck, her cheeks burning. Boris Johnson, of course, the Prime Minister himself. How could she have made such a glaring, public, profoundly embarrassing error? It wasn't just wrong, it was spectacularly wrong. Dominic Cummings was indeed a senior political advisor involved in the controversy, but he was not the one who resigned at that particular moment due to that specific trip. It was a common misconception, often conflated in public discourse, but on a quiz show, it was a fundamental, factual mistake. Her dream of saving the library, of proving her trivia prowess, seemed to crumble around her, buried under the weight of that one, glaring, politically charged wrong answer. The silent echo of Dominic Cummings seemed to reverberate through the studio, a siren wail of utter failure. The rest of Elsie's head-to-head round was a blur of self-consciousness. The easy confidence that had built up during the cash builder had evaporated, replaced by a cold knot of mortification. Every subsequent question felt amplified, every potential answer scrutinized under the harsh light of her recent blunder. Darragh, ever the professional, tried to steer the ship back to calmer waters, but the undercurrent of the Dominic Cummings error lingered. His usual banter felt a little strained, his jokes a touch forced. The vixen, of course, capitalized on it. She didn't overtly mock Elsie, but her correct answers, delivered with a smug precision, felt like quiet condemnations. Each time Elsie faltered or even hesitated, the vixen would offer a knowing glance, a subtle shift of her lips that spoke volumes. This is what happens when one is not truly prepared. Unsurprisingly, Elsie was caught. The vixen, with ruthless efficiency, swept past her on the board. "Unlucky, Elsie," Bradley said, his voice laced with genuine sympathy. "You played well in the cash builder, but that one question really got you." He shook his head, a shared sigh with the audience. Elsie could only offer a weak, embarrassed smile. She waved goodbye, walking off the set with her head held high, but inside her pride was in tatters. The library, she thought, would have to find another champion. Her teammates, though disappointed, offered commiserations. "Easy mistake, Elsie," one said, patting her shoulder. "Everyone gets brain freezes." But Elsie knew. On the chase, an easy mistake could cost you everything. And this wasn't just any mistake. It was one that involved a figure notoriously polarizing in British politics. The production team was kind, though she could see the suppressed smiles and the occasional hurried glance exchanged between them. They knew. They knew the moment they had just captured. They knew it would be replayed, discussed, possibly memed, and they were right. The episode aired 3 months later. Elsie watched it from her sofa, mittens curled on her lap, a glass of lukewarm tea forgotten on the coffee table. She braced herself for the moment. When Bradley said, "Which senior political advisor resigned?" her heart hammered. She saw her confident, misguided self on screen, heard her clear voice utter the name, and then Bradley's shocked face, the vixen's slow, triumphant smirk, the reveal, the silence, the collective sigh. Then the internet exploded. It started subtly, a tweet, then another. Within hours, clips of the Dominic Cummings error were everywhere. Screenshots of Elsie's earnest, then mortified face were paired with humorous captions. Memes proliferated. "When you think you know the answer, but it's actually the Prime Minister. My brain trying to remember anything after 2020. The news channels, hungry for viral content, picked it up. ITV The Chase turns awkward as player makes huge Dominic Cummings error, screamed headlines across online news sites, followed by articles dissecting the moment, the historical context, and the sheer audacity of the mistake. Elsie's phone, once silent, now pinged incessantly with notifications. Friends, distant relatives, even former students reached out, some with genuine concern, others with thinly veiled